quiet that night, with streetlights casting a soft glow on the polished sidewalks. He was 26, a man who noticed the small things. The subtle rise of an eyebrow, the way fingers brushed against objects, the gentle cadence of a laugh. She was 40, her long black hair flowing gracefully, her lightly tanned skin glowing in the soft light. They met in her sunlit apartment, a space filled with warmth and quiet elegance. The conversation started lightly, with laughter floating in the room, but underneath, a tension simmered. Every gesture she made, from the slight tilt of her head to the brush of her hand as she passed him a glass, carried an unspoken intensity. Then she said it, her voice casual but her words striking him like thunder. "I just want tonight." For him, those words felt impossible. One night, meant to be fleeting, felt like an eternity he couldn't contain. He was drawn to her warmth, her presence, every subtle movement charged with meaning. He watched the way her hair framed her face, the elegance in her posture, and it anchored him to the moment. Time seemed to slow down. They moved around her apartment, their shoulders brushing, sharing soft laughs, and lingering near one another. Every brief touch reverberated in his chest, a mix of desire and a deep, aching longing. He noticed the soft lines around her dark brown eyes, the gentle curve of her lips when she smiled, the slight tremor in her hand as she handed him a cup. Each detail etched itself into his memory, impossible to ignore or forget. As the night drew to a close, he walked her to the door. The city's hum wrapped around them, but the silence between them was deafening. Her words echoed in his mind. "Just tonight," she smiled, poised and calm, then stepped back inside, closing the door behind her. He stood there for a moment, feeling the sudden, crushing heaviness of the night, a mixture of longing, restraint, and the sense of an inevitable heartbreak. As he walked away, each step echoed the quiet ache in his chest. One night was supposed to be casual, but it had already shifted everything. The morning after carried an unusual stillness. He awoke with the faint memory of her presence lingering, the warmth of her hand, the subtle scent of her perfume, the quiet confidence she radiated. He replayed the previous night over and over. Every gesture, every fleeting touch, and every whispered word now seemed monumental. Just tonight was both a boundary and a haunting promise. To her, it was simple. To him, it was everything. Later, she invited him to a sunlit cafe. Bright light streamed across her fitted blouse and skirt, highlighting her graceful posture. Each interaction carried the weight of their previous night, fingers brushing, shoulders nearly touching, glances lingering just a bit too long. He was aware of every detail, the gentle curve of her lips, the subtle lines at the corners of her eyes, the soft cadence of her voice. Their conversation flowed with a surface-level ease, but beneath it, the complex tension simmered. He understood now that one night had set a chain of emotional vulnerability in motion. Walking back through the sunlit streets, he felt the weight of it all. One night, meant to be simple, had become a force he couldn't ignore. Every step he took echoed the longing and subtle ache that had taken root in his chest. The days that followed were marked by constant reminders of her. Every laugh, every glance, every small gesture seemed charged with an emotional weight he couldn't shake. Their interactions became increasingly nuanced, filled with a silent language only they seemed to understand. Every meeting, whether at a cafe or in her sunlit apartment, carried an unspoken tension. He felt the sharp contrast between his own youthful vulnerability and her mature composure. Gestures became their primary form of communication. Shoulders brushing, hands passing objects, glances holding for a moment too long. Their words were polite and casual, but the air around them was thick with unspoken feelings. The night that was intended to be fleeting had left an emotional imprint neither of them could dismiss. Every farewell became a quiet ache. The casual evening had evolved into a fragile intimacy, a suspended tension between desire and restraint. Their final meeting was on her bright porch, bathed in the golden light of late afternoon. Her hands brushed his, their shoulders were nearly touching, and every gesture was layered with the weight of what had already been lost. There was soft laughter, exchanged glances, and lingering touches, all underscoring the quiet ache of a heart that had surrendered to a night she intended to be trivial. One night, one choice, and his emotions had been irreversibly altered. The goodbye had begun long before any words were spoken. And with every heartbeat, he carried the subtle, unshakable burden of a love that was too much to bear. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content like this.